Hi, this is Chris with the Wine Pro Marketplace, and today we're talking with Kieran Keaty, who is with Expanding Horizons. Your website is toursandwine.com. And Kieran, as a winery, why would I want to work with you? What is it that you do that could help me as a winery?
We basically deliver a premium branding experience for wineries that involves uh, a high-end vacation travel experience with their best D2C customers and exposure to a whole bunch of uh, people that will buy their wine and become wine club members as a captive audience on a river cruise or
Awesome.
ocean.
Okay. So if I come to you and say I want to do a in tour, and I want, to for my wine club members, I want to invite them to come tour with me and the winemaker. Um, what does that entail? Like, if I come to you and say I want to do this, are there pre-arranged destinations or specific cruises? How does it work?
We pick a destination you want to go to, and I either have it already or I build the trip for you. But the best sellers are the wine regions of the world, the Rhine, the Rhone, the Danube, the Bordeaux in France, Argentina, New Zealand, Australia, Italy, Spain. And it's a tour of all the must-do, or a tour or cruise or both, of all the must-do things in each of those places that you would go as a tourist, plus three, four, five elements of wine with your wines and your and or visiting great chateaus in France, etc. Wine
So
experiences.
So if I make, let's say, an Italian varietal wine, and I
Mhm.
want to go, bring my club, my customers, some of them, to come with me to Italy, we could go to places in Italy to taste wine, plus bring some of my own wine.
Yes, yeah, we'd build in, let's say, one or two paired dinners and one or two uh, tasting lectures into a 10-day or 10 to 12-day program. So it's not you're not working every day, but that's the hook. It might sound a little obtuse, but when you're if you're cruising down the River Seine and you've got 140 people in the audience and say 30 of them are yours and the 110 others. Um, you've got a captive audience of what I call woofies, well-off old folks, and they will leave that trip with wanting to join your wine club with sometimes 20 or 30 new wine club members.
So that's really interesting. I, if I work with you and we plan this trip, I'm going to tell my customers um, about it, so they'll join me on the trip. But then you're saying that I can pour my wine for other people that didn't come with me?
Yeah, we buy for a wine cruise. We typically buy $4,000 to $5,000 worth of your wine. Can say typically 10, depends on the size of the ship and the audience, but minimum 10, maybe up to 18 cases, and pay you for that. Ship it to Europe, or wherever, and to hold these events. So you're getting paid for your wine. You get free travel, Mr. and Mrs. Winery owner, winemaker, whatever. Cruise cabin for two, air tickets. There's incentives up to business class for if the group grows. And most importantly, we provide all the marketing to do this. All we ask that you do is send it on to your wine club. And
Oh,
the worst case
oh, no, go ahead.
the worst case scenario, the worst case that can happen in this is we cancel it about 9 months out and refund a few deposits if it doesn't work. But the batting average for this is about 800, 8 out of 10 go from a winery's consumer database. And
Okay, so I don't, as the winery owner or winemaker, I don't have to pay for myself to go. You're
no,
gonna buy some cases of my wine. So you're buying it from me, which
10
is
to 20 cases.
up to 20 cases of my wine. And do I have to get a certain number of people committed to coming with
The
us?
model is based on really 10 couples, 10 couples occupying 10 hotel rooms or cruise room cabins for for the program, and that minimum's met. But say even we have ways of lessening that or
The
paying a
burden.
very small amount if it's less than that number. But typically, my group sizes are in the mid 30s up to 100. It's not. It's usually not an issue
Okay.
canceling these.
Okay. So there will be additional people on it that aren't coming with me that you find
No,
no.
no. These cruises are marketed globally.
Oh,
I block 20, 30, 40 cabins for each winery group, and we sell into that. And we have a fixed amount of time to book those until I can release them. And we start this conversation typically 14 or 15 months in advance. And I want to say by 9 months out, it's done. Really, there's very few bookings inside of 9 months. There's a long lead time to this. People save up to do these trips.
right, of course.
They're not cheap, but they're wonderful. And
So I'm going to get an opportunity to go on the trip myself. I'm going to sell at least, around 20 cases of wine or maximum of 20 cases of wine you're going to buy from me. And I get to go have fun with some of my best customers that want to go on a trip. And I'm assuming we do other things while on the trip too. It's not all wine tasting, but we go and have fun doing other activities too.
it's a fully inclusive luxury uh, cruise, and all the tours and all the meal not well almost all the meals are included. Depends on the program. They're fine cuisine, all tours, all sightseeing and included. The only thing that's not included is airfare because those things change every 10 minutes.
Right.
So
Wow. Okay. Well,
we
that sounds.
organize all that we organize all that. All we ask the winery to do is to market it.
Can you show me some, what some of the trips, I don't know, looked like or
Yeah.
along trips?
Uh, I mean, I can show you, I can show you the website. The website, we build a website for each winery. You want to
Oh,
see a
okay.
sample website?
Yes, please.
All right. So let me do that. Okay, now we got it. All right. So,
So
so excuse
there
me.
you go. Now
So
we've got one of the
this
websites.
this is
Okay.
think of this website as like an oak tree with branches, right?
Okay.
But see all those. So I'm just strolling across wineries at the top.
So these are all
Each of these is
wineries
an
that have
individual
done.
website for that trip,
Wow.
and this is this is the same thing in date order. Um, so right now. I have Seven of Hearts on they just finished their Danube. I have Madrona Vineyards on the Douro River in Portugal. Uh,
Wow.
San Pasquale, I have two in Croatia right now simultaneously, or just one's just ending and one's just starting. That's just the month of May, and it goes right into through 2026. But the people for the winery, this is important. The people for the winery don't only see this, they don't see all the others. It's the call to action is this website.
Right.
So use
So if you click
thumbprints.
on one of those,
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
will
mean,
be
well, no, the winery people would just go straight to this. They
right.
wouldn't see the whole
Okay.
enchilada that I just
They'd,
showed you.
right. They'd see this.
They'd see this. So this is
So,
a Bordeaux trip with thumbprint cellars of Sonoma, of Healdsburg. And again, the website is I'll just walk through this really fast. It shows it basically answers the question for everybody. So we don't, my office and especially the winery doesn't turn into a travel agent. People know what they want when
right.
they call.
Yeah.
Um,
So they can
and
go on. So I'm a winery. I've arranged all this with you, and
yeah,
then I show this website, like if this was my
it's,
winery, and
we,
I tell my
yeah,
people to go there, and
we,
that's
um, we provide all the not just the website. I'll show you in a second flyers, whatever, but
okay.
prices, the registration, it's all done online.
Wonderful.
And, and they call us they typically call us with a question is where should I fly into? What should I do? It's generally a 5 minute phone call, not a half an hour. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's all answered
Awesome.
here. So let me stop the sharing for a second. But Oh, let me minimize this. Hang on. Oh, I have to share something different. Hang on.
Okay.
This is the end result of what I do and what the wineries can expect. The wineries customers are signing up to be a gang for the week, to
Okay.
join a group of like-minded people sharing an experience or a trip. So they're making Shiraz Grange Hermitage in Penfold's lab in Australia. Would be a
And
great
these are
wine
all pictures of different.
of trips that have traveled. This is about 6 months ago on the steps in Arles, France, the little Roman Colosseum there. This is B.Y.'s Vineyards of Sonoma at Chateau Kirwan in Bordeaux. Um, this is Barnard Griffin Winery on one of the ships in the Danube, I think. This is in Bordeaux, France,
Yeah.
a special wine club trip that I ran. This was last May at Jessup Cellars in the Opera House in Budapest. Charles Krug at Chateau Durfort Vivons in Margaux, France. Um,
Awesome.
Peter Mondavi there.
Yeah.
It's uh, Schweiger Vineyards in New Orleans on an airboat. I add all these experiences. So it's a deep dive into every place. This
So
is Chateau Montelena in
for
Lisbon.
wineries that are interested in doing this, how can they contact you?
Kieron at Kieron at expanding-horizons.com. So you get the picture. That's Chateau Montelena in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. But the, sorry, I was passing this paper out at, well, I leave it at every winery that we go to.
Wonderful.
River cruises for vintners and then USA trips for vintners. Um, and then part of the thing is not just a website, but we send a flyer out that allows them to display it in the tasting room.
Oh, okay.
Like I print maybe 3,000 of these for a winery. And then they also
And
insert
it
them.
doesn't cost me the
No,
winery,
not a
it
cent.
costs me the money.
Not
Okay.
a, I do all this. That's my risk.
Okay.
I make money when 20 army people go, right?
Okay.
That's what I do. But we make it work. I mean, the worst thing for me is a non-compliant vintner that doesn't market the trip. Just
Oh, right.
expect something for
So,
nothing.
so as the winery, I would need to market it to my customers to.
Once a month, they just typically send a one email a month that is like ongoing, telling a story. Like, you're
Yeah.
invited. The pre-tour cruise in Bordeaux is this. The day two, we're going to Cadillac, France, and meeting to a castle, and then tasting Sauterne, et cetera, et cetera. One a month for like 6 months, and the trips fill. But no
Awesome.
marketing, no sales. You'd
That
understand that.
sounds really cool. So wineries, if they're interested in this, they can contact Kieran. And of course, this is on the Wine Pro Marketplace, this video.
Yes.
So all your details to contact you are on there.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this with
My
us.
pleasure.
And sounds really cool.
It's a very popular formula, and it works. And I typically most of my clients some of them are on their seventh and eighth trips now over the last 10 years. So it's but they have to be a will that to travel and want to do this. If they do, they're going to love it.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Christine.